Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and I am so excited to be celebrating 10 years of meaningful conversations with you. As we step into our new primetime hour, it's such an honor to share this exciting new chapter with you. So whether you're starting your day out, headed to work, or listening from wherever you are, this hour is designed to bring you thoughtful dialogue, fresh insight, and inspiring stories so you can make every moment count. So thank you for being here with me today, and let's dive in. We're here today with special guest, Chef Pati Jinich, who's here to share with us Eggland's best Mother's Day brunch. So Mother's Day is one of the biggest celebrations of the year, and families are making it more meaningful with connection and quality time. This year, Mexican chef Pati Jinich and Eggland's Best are inspiring families to create a vibrant, memory-making brunch at home, bringing everyone together through food, culture, and tradition. So welcome to the show, Chef Pati Jinich.
Thank you so much for having me on today, Marianne.
Oh my goodness. Well, what an honor it is to have you here. And my goodness, Pati, moms have been saying this for years. They want time, not just gifts. Are families finally getting the message?
I think families are finally getting the message. More and more, they're realizing that what matters the most is time together. Mother's Day is becoming less about the gift that you bring in a box and more about gathering around the table and cooking together and sharing a meal and creating meaningful moments. And I've always believed that food has a special way, a special power of bringing people together. And that shared experience is typically the most memorable gift of them all.
I think we can all agree with that. So, how can food and cultural traditions turn a simple meal into a really meaningful family time?
Marianne, I think that across cultures, and I can speak more closely to Latin American cultures and, of course, Mexican homes, food is always at the center of celebrations. And spring is such a beautiful time to highlight fresh, vibrant ingredients. Things like sweet, ripe mangoes, zesty lime, fresh herbs, creamy avocado, and eggs are staples that bring brightness, color, and flavor to the table. When you combine those seasonal ingredients with recipes that not only deliver, but pass down traditions, even a simple meal becomes something truly special.
Well, so let's talk about brunch. So, what are you making today that listeners can easily recreate at home?
Today I'm making a really, really fun and festive, but also approachable Mother's Day brunch spread. For the savory, I have corn tortilla eggnets, which are a playful twist on eggs in a hole. I have warm corn tortillas that have a perfectly cooked egg in the center. And then I top them with salsa, guacamole, crema, avocado, some chopped cilantro. Then I also have a super tasty ham and cheese quiche with jalapenos, which is a classic brunch but this is with a Mexican inspired kick. And these quiche, as all quiches, are great to make ahead, and you can just bring to a potluck or just have it at the ready before your brunch or lunch. And for dessert, I have my mango key lime tart for something a little bit tangy, a little bit sweet, a little bit tropical that has that creamy texture from the egg yolks and a crumbly cookie crust. And it really feels like spring on a plate. And all of these recipes use Eggland's best eggs, which I love because they have 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. So you're getting that extra nutrition while making something delicious.
Oh, that all sounds just fabulous. What is one dish that a family could make that would kind of elevate their Mother's Day breakfast?
I think that this ham and cheese quiche dish with jalapenos, because it's pickled jalapenos, they're bright, they're zesty, but also an egg frittata. Because in a frittata, you can add in there potatoes, like fire roasted poblanos. Um, you can add there whatever vegetable you love. You can add corn that's starting to be available in the spring. And I think things that are approachable that you can make ahead, but that have a really, powerful punching flavor is something that everybody appreciates.
What are some ways that we can involve kids or other family members in the kitchen to help make this experience more meaningful?
I'll tell you what I do. What I do is that I put on some music that I love. I always have fresh flowers. I always have eggland eggs and I have ripe avocados and play along with recipes that we love and make it festive and, get everyone involved. If you start with recipes that are approachable and if you mess anything up, we're Mexican. You can just tuck it into a corn tortilla or flour tortilla and turn it into a delicious taco. I think giving yourself the space to cook and have fun in the kitchen and not make it stressful, I think is always a win-win for, involving friends and family. And also, Marianne, to be honest, to get help in the kitchen.
Oh, we can always use a little extra help in the kitchen. My goodness. How about for those, I mean, I know that firsthand. And for those that may not have a strong cooking background, what is like one dish that they can make that's probably pretty easy for them to prepare?
I mean, I think that anything eggs is approachable and versatile and easy and forgiving. And I mean, the recipe that I'm sharing today, you can find in egglandsbest.com, but I also have there many other recipes that are just easy to make and fun and that many recipes that you can make ahead too. And I think it's always important to come into the kitchen, to the kitchen with a forgiving attitude towards yourself. You don't have to think super fast. You don't have to do things super, perfect. They don't have to be showstoppers in every sense of the word. They just have to be filling and tasty. And of course, when you're feeding family and friends, you want to make sure that they're nutritious. So that's why I always have Eggland's Best in my fridge.
Well, that is a great piece of advice. And for those family members that maybe can't handle the spice of jalapeno, what do you suggest?
Well, this is someone who like lives eating pickled jalapenos and chipotles in adobo sauce. But I mean, the first thing is if you really don't want any heat and you don't want any chiles, you can just skip the jalapeno. If you want a little bit of heat, you can remove the seeds. And I always say with chiles, Marianne, like go a little bit at a time. If it's the first time that you're making a recipe that uses any kind of chiles, you can start with a little less and then up it and customize to your taste. For these, for example, for these ham and cheese quiche that uses pickled jalapenos, you can add just a little bit just to add the taste into the quiche and then have a bowl of pickled jalapenos on the side so people can customize and dress their food. This is something that I absolutely love about Mexican cooking is you can always customize your taste and dress for success for you. Whatever you think is going to be best for you, you can always add more on top.
Well, anyone that knows me knows that I love Mexican food, and all this talk about this is making me super hungry right now. Oh my goodness. So, how can listeners take all of these great recipes that we're talking about, especially for Mother's Day, and turn it into like an ongoing family tradition?
I mean, for me, since my boys were little, I used to involve them at dinner time. I used to set aside the time for me, not to be busy, not to be on my phone, not to be on the computer, and really make it an hour going in the kitchen. And I think it's great to start showing by example. I'm not bringing in my work into the kitchen, and and it's honestly, Marianne, it's kind of therapeutic. And if they see you doing it and they see you enjoying it, I think one can lead by example a little bit in there. They see you loving cooking, they see you enjoying the food that you're making, people want to jump in.
They definitely do, especially when you have such good food as you make. My goodness. So, where can our listeners go to find more ideas and get these full recipes that you've been talking about today?
They can go to egglandsbest.com, not only for the full recipes that we've been talking about, which are the corn tortilla eggness, the ham and cheese quiche with pickled jalapenos, and the mango key lime pie. But there's more recipes and tips and tricks for inspiration. And you can find hundreds and hundreds of ideas and recipes in there. And they have gorgeous photos so that when you're following a recipe, you can see kind of what you're aiming for, which is always a great guide to have.
Oh my goodness. Well, Patty, you're such an inspiration. I just love your cooking. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you so much, Marianne, for having me on.
Well, thank you, Patty. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your great recipes using Eggland's Best. Make sure to visit egglandsbest.com to download these recipes and start planning your Mother's Day brunch. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.